Okay, ever feel like you're kind of just stuck? Like on that hamster wheel,
Yeah.
Work, family, life, just spinning, spinning,
How
spinning.
well that.
Yeah, and a lot of people listening probably do too. And well, guess what? We're going to try and help you get off that hamster wheel today. We're going deep on the power of routine, healthy habits for a better life.
Ooh, routines.
Yeah. So maybe we'll unlock how those routines, how they can like just make life simpler and make us feel better too, right?
Right, right.
Right. I think we all want that. And who knows, maybe there are some benefits to routine that we haven't even thought of. Some like secret perks.
Oh, yeah, that's what I think is really interesting about this whole thing. It's not just about getting things done, right? It's
Yeah.
like building a better you,
Huh.
healthier and happier.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. So the source, it calls routine the secret sauce to those healthy habits. So I get that, like, being consistent, doing things regularly, that's important. But what else is going on? What's the secret part?
Well, there's actually some pretty cool psychology happening. Like when you stick to a routine,
Okay.
you're making choices
Right.
and you're kind of achieving these little wins all day long. And each win, it doesn't matter how small it is,
Mm-hmm.
it triggers dopamine in your brain.
Hmm.
And that makes you feel good, reinforces those good vibes, and you start to feel like you can do anything.
So it's like a feedback loop, positive feedback loop. I like it. So it's not just like I check it off a list, I did it. It's like I feel good about it.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so what about these other benefits that the source talks about?
Right, well, there's the obvious stuff, right? Like stress goes down,
Right.
you can focus better. Routines kind of help streamline things so you're not constantly making decisions,
Yeah.
which can be exhausting.
Oh, yeah, decision fatigue. Like my mental energy is just drained making all these tiny little choices all day.
Exactly. So routines free up your brain to focus on the important stuff.
So less mental clutter, more mental clarity. I like it. But there's one thing that I'm always struggling with, and that is sleep.
Sleep, yeah.
So the source talks about how important routine is for better sleep. But I don't know, I'm a little skeptical. Just going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, can that really make that much of a difference?
It really can. And it all boils down to your circadian rhythm,
Yeah.
your body's internal clock.
Okay.
This rhythm controls everything from like your hormones to your body temperature.
Wow.
And super sensitive to like light and when you go to sleep and wake up.
So if I mess with that rhythm.
It throws everything off.
Okay, yeah.
Think about jet lag.
Oh, yeah.
You feel terrible because your internal clock's all confused. Consistent sleep and wake times, though, they keep that circadian rhythm in check. You sleep deeper. You wake up feeling more rested. And it even helps your cells repair themselves better.
So you're telling me I should blame my bad sleep on my messed up internal clock. Interesting. But the source also says that flexibility is important.
Right.
Doesn't that contradict this whole routine thing?
People think routines have to be rigid, but that's not true. Life happens, things come up, you need to be able to adjust. The key is to have a structure in place, but allow yourself to be flexible when you need to be.
Okay, so routine with the side of flexibility.
Exactly.
Got it. I'm ready to get into the details now.
Yeah.
So the source outlines like these sample routines for the morning and the evening. And there's one thing that really jumped out at me, and that's that we should drink water first thing in the morning. Hydrate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Well, after you sleep, 7, 8 hours, you get dehydrated,
Mm-hmm.
right? So having water first thing, it's like waking your body up from the inside out. It kickstarts your metabolism, gives you energy, and can even help you think more clearly.
Okay, so it's like coffee, but water.
Yeah, but healthier.
Okay, all right, I'm sold. So what about exercise? The source recommends a specific formula for how much to move throughout the day. And this one I found interesting. 2082, can you explain that?
This is a great way to deal with all that sitting we do. Basically, for every 30 minutes, you sit for 20, stand for 8, and then move around for 2.
Okay.
Helps with your circulation, stops you from getting stiff, even burns a few extra calories.
Well, it's way more helpful than just saying get more exercise. I can actually see myself trying this.
Exactly. And you can adapt those 2 minutes of movement to whatever you like or wherever you are. Walk around the office, stretch at your desk, even just dance to your favorite song. It all counts.
I like it. Okay, so let's talk about the evening routine now.
Okay.
The source really emphasizes unwinding and getting ready for the next day. So what are some of the things that make a good evening routine?
The key is to have a consistent way to wind down, to signal to your body that it's time to relax and get ready for sleep.
Uh-huh.
And remember, this all ties back to that circadian rhythm we talked about. To get good sleep, you got to keep that rhythm regular.
Okay, so like dimming the lights, putting away screens an hour before bed.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. There's one thing that I thought was interesting that the source recommends. It says we should write down our wins every night. How does that, fit into all of this?
It seems like a small thing, but it can be really powerful. Just taking a couple of minutes each evening to think about what you accomplished during the day, even the little things, it shifts your focus to the positive.
So it's like a gratitude practice, but for what I actually did.
Exactly. It makes
Mm.
you feel competent and good about yourself,
Yeah.
which can actually improve your mood and give you more motivation for the next day.
So I'm not going to bed thinking about what I didn't get done. I'm ending on a positive note. And it only takes a few minutes.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's these small things, these intentional things,
Yeah.
woven into our daily routines that can really change things.
Yeah.
And speaking of small things, the source also highlights the importance of prepping for the next day, like getting stuff ready ahead of time. And I gotta say, I'm not always great at that. So tell me, besides just saving time in the morning, what are some other benefits that the source mentions?
Well, you wake up, right, and things already feel sort of organized. It's like you're starting the day in control,
Mm,
not just reacting to whatever's thrown at you. Less of that decision fatigue we were talking
I
about.
see, yeah. Less overwhelm, more like feeling good.
Yeah, like you already accomplished something.
Right, right. It's like that good feeling you get after a workout, but for your whole day.
Exactly. You're setting yourself up for success mentally and practically.
So the source is saying we need to be more mindful about our routines, not just like robots checking things off a list.
Exactly. And that brings us to something really important. Routines are not one size fits all. What works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. You have to personalize them. Make them fit your life, your preferences, what you want to achieve.
So it's more about what makes me feel good and supports me rather than trying to be like someone else.
Yeah. Finding that balance between structure and flexibility,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of yourself. The source has some good examples and ideas, but the real magic happens when you take those and make them your own.
That takes the pressure off. I don't need to be perfect. I can experiment and figure out what works for me.
Exactly, exactly. And don't forget consistency.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, even with those little tweaks and changes, it's consistency that gets results. It builds momentum. Those positive habits become part of who you are.
Small steps, big impact. Got it. It makes me think about routines for families. The source mentions that too. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, the family dynamic. Routines can be so helpful for families. Everyone feels more secure and in control.
Less stress for everyone, right? Like a roadmap for the day so kids know what to expect.
Yeah, and it helps kids feel safe and become more independent. They know what's coming next. They can handle transitions better.
And for parents, I bet it frees up more time to actually enjoy their family because things run smoother.
Absolutely. It's about working smarter, not harder. Creating that environment where everyone can thrive. Plus, don't forget the bonding, the shared experiences. It builds that sense of togetherness.
I love that. Okay, I think we've covered a lot today. The science behind routines, how to make them work, how powerful they can be for individuals and families. But before we wrap up, there's one last thought from the source I want to highlight.
Yes, the source ends with a very powerful question. It asks us,
To think about one small change we can make to our routine right now
right now.
to start getting those benefits we were talking about. It's kind of like a challenge.
It is a challenge, but that's what's so cool about it. It doesn't have to be this huge life makeover. Just one tiny change, one little step in the right direction.
Like maybe finally trying that 2082 thing for moving around more, no more excuses about being stuck at my desk all day.
That's a great one, yeah. Or maybe it's just drinking a full glass of water when you wake up, like we talked about.
Oh, or actually setting aside those 5 minutes at night to write down my wins. It doesn't sound so hard when you put it like that.
Exactly. Small steps, but you do them consistently.
Yeah.
Those little things add up over time.
Yeah.
That's how you make real change.
Like that saying, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Okay, I'm inspired. I'm putting in my phone tonight and picking up my win journal. What about you? What small change are you going to make?
I've been wanting to try a little mindfulness in the mornings. Just like 5 minutes of breathing, to get centered before the day starts.
Oh, I love that. See, we're all learning and growing, always tweaking our routines.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so interesting. There's no one perfect routine. It's all about figuring out what works for you, what makes you feel good, what helps you live your best life.
That's a great way to put it. So to everyone listening out there, we're challenging you. Take a minute, think about one little change you can make today, and then do it every day for the next week. Just see what happens. You might be surprised at how much of a difference it makes.
And remember, we're here with you on this journey. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep discovering how routines can change your life from the inside out.
Until next time, stay curious, everyone, and keep those routines going.